I have a question for the moms out there, and it's a seemingly straightforward question, but I do understand that it comes with some trepidation, if you will. And this all comes from a text message I got from one of my friends who is a brand new mom. She just had a baby over the summer. Her name is Charlotte. Very cute. I've been love keeping up with the content on social media. But anyway, Savannah, she texted me and she said, hey, if you need some content for the show this week, I'd love to know if people would hire a male nanny. Her husband, Scott, was laid off from his job in June and still hasn't been able to find anything. And I'm about to go back to work. So we're talking about him being a stay-at-home dad and adding another kid or two as like a nanny share situation to make some extra cash. But we're also like, is that weird? Like, I don't think I'd ever leave Charlotte, their daughter, with a man. But Scott is such a good caregiver. He'd be so good at it, and he'd love to stay home with her. I don't know, just something that I thought could be a talker. I'd be curious to hear opinions.
All right, so some real talk here. If you guys want to get in on this, would you hire a male nanny? 1-855-BERT Show. And don't be scared. We'll put you on the voice disguiser if you want. Just speak your mind here. Here is Savannah and Scott right now. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, guys. Hey, Abby, by the way, for future reference, when I tell you I have a content idea for you, I kind of meant you to bring it up, but here I am.
Savannah, we're out of words some days. You guys could do a way better job than we can. So what is going on here? And Scott's with you right now also, right?
Yeah,
I am, yes.
All right, so tell us about this idea. And I think Abby did a pretty good job of explaining exactly what your concern is, but go ahead.
She did. So I'll just let Scott kind of tell a little bit of background of, when he lost his job just before Charlotte was born.
Yeah, it was it was kind of a bit of a shock, a bit of a surprise. So, I was laid off a while ago. Been in the job search, and it's been really competitive, been really tough out in the finance world. So, I just kind of thought when Savannah goes back to work, it might be nice to get to continue to spend time with Charlotte because I enjoy it so much, and maybe watch another kid or two while I'm at it.
Yeah, he's such a good dad. He's literally, I told Abby this, but he really is just made for it. I did not change a single diaper for the first several weeks of her life. He just truly enjoys being around her. He does all the stroller stuff and all the car seat stuff and packs the diaper bags. I'm just chilling, guys. I'm on my 8th season of Love Island. Scott is truly doing so well at it. And at this point, he still hasn't found a job in accounting. I'm set to go back to work October. And so at this point, he's going to be staying home with her. And we thought maybe for a little extra money, we add another kid or two. But I don't know. Is that weird? I put myself in the mom shoes, and I don't know that I would leave my daughter with a man. But knowing Scott, he's more capable than most people I know. So would love to hear opinion.
Yeah, so before we open up the phones here, and again, if you want to get in on this, 1-855-BERT Show, you admit that you probably would feel uncomfortable with that. In reality, for what reasons? You just don't, for what reasons?
It's hard to say. To be honest, I'm going to have a hard time leaving her with anyone. Before we knew Scott was going to be still employed, I was having a hard time with just leaving her in daycare in general. It's just such a hard thing to trust anyone with your little baby who can't talk yet, let alone hardly hold her head up. So I don't know. I think the instinct is that women have that more maternal, natural caregiving side. Now that I've seen Scott as a dad, I see it a lot differently, but I don't know if he is the exception to the rule.
I can tell you he's not. Savannah, I am also proudly married to a stay-at-home dad. Bart's been crushing it for the last 4 years. And I would absolutely hire a male nanny. But for me, it's going to have to be more than just the fact you just had a kid. So for anybody, as far as if it's going to be more of a full-time, babysitters we're a little more loosey-goosey on. But as far as a nanny, I'd be all right, well, what are your credentials? What, references, etc. And obviously you're a lovely reference. Probably a little biased, and I totally get it because I would be biased for my husband because I think he's amazing and he's the best dad, and it sounds like Scott is too. So myself, yes, would have no issue hiring a male nanny. However, if the credential was just that he just had a kid, I would need to have somebody with a little more experience with kids.
Is there, if we're really, getting to it, Savannah, is there a question also that you think that maybe moms would wonder if a male nanny would be more apt to do something inappropriate than a woman?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. And I think that's just an unfair bias, to be honest. Like, there are so many. I was raised by an incredible dad. I mean, like Kristen said, she's got Bart being an amazing stay-at-home dad. I do think it's an unfair bias. I'm just wondering if it's one that other people have. And then also to that point, like, what credentials, would you want to hear about? Like, so we've got like the first aid and CPR certification, the clear background check, the clear driving check, plenty of character references, that kind of thing. But, if people are calling in, like what else would you want to know? What would you ask? Like, what qualifications would you need to hear? What would you ask of the references?
All right, I want to get Kara on here because she is coming from a place of concern as well. Tommy, will you put 5 on hold, please? Good morning, Kara. You are on the Bert Show. Hi.
Hey, so I have 2 boys, and even having boys, I think men statistically are more aggressive. And their tempers tend to be a little bit more quick to anger and do more sinister things as far as that goes, but not always. I wouldn't be comfortable leaving my child with a man as a nanny, just from the statistics, and they do other things that I don't want to explicitly go into detail too, more so than women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you're just being real here, and I think there are probably other women that feel the exact same way. I wouldn't feel bad about that opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you look at, when she's talking about statistics, right? So statistically, men are more likely to be the violent aggressors when you're looking at crimes and stuff like that.
And predators. When you're looking at abuse, I would not hire a male nanny.
You would not?
I would not. Now, if it was someone like, if Kristen came to me and was like, hey, Bart is looking after Jimmy during the day. If you want Hazel and Max, he can look after them too. Well, Bart's a trusted friend, so I would have no it's not the fact that they're a man, it's the fact that they're a man that I don't know. And that's my issue, because my husband Chad is a stay-at-home dad as well. So I know firsthand, like, men are perfectly capable at being exceptional parents. I even think he's a better parent than I am. But if it's a random man nanny, yes, you're right, it is unfair. Bias comes into play, because I'm like, why do you want to be a nanny? That's traditionally a female job. It shouldn't be, but it raises red flags for me.
But here's what's funny. I would prefer a stranger over a trusted friend, because statistics show that if there's any kind of abuse, it tends to be somebody who's close to the child.
That's a good point.
I could tell Scott's a very good husband also because he's been quiet. Hey, Scott, what do you think about all this dialogue, man?
Yeah, I mean, that's, it doesn't make me feel, some type of way. If I'm being honest, I mean, men have, in a way, we've earned that unfair bias. There's some great dads out there, but at the same time, you're right, men are more aggressive, and we've kind of earned that. So, it doesn't make me feel bad in any sort of way. I know what I'm capable of. I know that I can do it. We've gotten some great response. I've talked to some moms out there that are actually interested, and it makes me excited at the fact that this could be a thing. So, I completely understand where a lot of moms are coming from.
Hey, Kara, good morning. You are part of the Bert Show. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
You're a male nanny.
I was for a little while. I got in my wife had a in-home daycare type of deal going on, and I got into a boating accident, and I was down for a while, and disability just wasn't cutting it. So she had to go to work, and I had to take over taking care of the kids. So I was watching kids at home on crutches, and I kept them all alive.
Survive in advance, man.
Dude, if that's not on your resume, every kid I watched, I kept alive.
The review, just trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Savannah, Scott, congratulations on the baby. That's awesome.
Thank you
so much.
And thanks for coming on too, Savannah. If anybody needs a personal reference from the girl they listened to on the radio, they are the coolest couple. I dream of being couple friends with them one day.
All right, see you guys. Have a good day.
Happy.
The Bert Show.